Let's get started. Start with listening, and then learn new words and practice them in sentences.
Have you ever wondered why we go through customs control when we travel internationally? Every time we cross borders, we encounter customs control, a critical checkpoint that serves several vital functions. Primarily, it ensures that goods entering or leaving a country comply with local laws and regulations. This process is not only crucial for maintaining the security of a nation, but also plays a significant role in its economic stability. Customs control acts as the first line of defense against the illegal import and export of goods. By meticulously inspecting baggage and cargo, customs authorities can intercept contraband like narcotics, unauthorized weapons, and other illegal items. This protective measure helps prevent potential threats from entering the country, thus safeguarding the community. Moreover, customs control is instrumental in managing the flow of goods that might affect the local economy. By regulating imports and exports, customs ensures that the market remains stable and fair, preventing market saturation with foreign goods that could harm domestic industries. Now that we understand its importance, let's delve into the procedures of customs control. Your journey through customs begins the moment you arrive at the airport. As you disembark from your flight, the first step of the customs process is to fill out a customs declaration form. This form is a critical piece of paperwork that provides customs officers with essential information about you, your travels, and the goods you're bringing into the country. It's a straightforward document where you'll need to supply your personal details, your flight information, and your reason for travel. You'll also be asked to provide a detailed inventory of everything you're bringing with you. This includes gifts for others, items you've purchased abroad, and even the amount of currency you're carrying. Be sure to be accurate and honest in your declarations. Misrepresenting the facts or failing to declare items can lead to penalties, including fines and confiscation of goods. Next comes the primary inspection. This is where you'll meet face-to-face with a customs officer. They'll review your declaration form, check your passport, and ask you a few questions about your travels. The officer's job is to assess whether you and your goods pose any risk to the country's security or economy. The questions can range from simple inquiries about your trip to more detailed questions about the items you're bringing into the country. Remember, their goal is not to make you uncomfortable, but to ensure the safety and security of all. So, be prepared, be honest, and be patient. It's all part of the process. These initial steps are designed to streamline the customs process and to protect the country from the illegal movement of goods and materials. They also serve as a way to collect duties and taxes on goods that are subject to import charges. It's a system that's been fine-tuned over the years to balance the needs of travelers with the responsibilities of customs authorities. Once you've completed these steps, you're ready for the next phase of the process. Now let's talk about the heart of the customs control process: the inspection and baggage check. The inspection is a critical part of the customs control process. Customs officers are trained to identify any potential threats to the country's security or violations of customs regulations. They might conduct a thorough examination of your belongings, ask you questions, or even request additional documentation. The purpose of this process is to ensure that everything entering the country complies with the laws and regulations. During the inspection, officers are looking for a variety of things. They might be checking for prohibited or restricted items, such as narcotics, weapons, or certain food products. They are also vigilant for counterfeit goods and illegal substances. It's also important to remember that customs officers are trained to read body language and gauge reactions, so honesty is definitely the best policy here. Now, let's move on to the baggage check. This is where your luggage is examined. Customs officers are searching for anything that isn't declared, is prohibited, or exceeds the allowed limit. The baggage check can be as simple as a quick glance or as thorough as a detailed search of every item. It depends on various factors, including the traveler's history, the country of origin, and even random selection. There are many reasons behind the baggage check procedure. It acts as a deterrent for smuggling, helps in the detection of illegal goods, and ensures the safety of everyone within the country's borders. Plus, it's an opportunity for customs officers to verify that what's declared matches what's actually in the luggage. It's crucial to cooperate fully during this process. Officers are just doing their job to keep the country safe. If something is found that shouldn't be there, it could lead to penalties, including fines, confiscation of goods, or even arrest. Successfully completing the inspection and baggage check brings you one step closer to entering the country. Remember, the key to a smooth customs experience is honesty, preparation, and patience. These procedures are in place to ensure the safety and security of everyone. So, when you're navigating customs, keep these points in mind. Next, we enter the final stage of customs control, clearance. The clearance process is a meticulous procedure designed to ensure that all goods entering the United States comply with the country's laws and regulations. It's the moment of truth, where you find out if your items will pass muster. At this juncture, customs officers may carry out additional inspections if they deem it necessary. This could be due to inconsistencies in your declarations, suspicion of prohibited items, or simply random checks, which are a common aspect of customs procedures. Remember, their role is pivotal in maintaining the country's security and protecting its borders from illegal movement of goods and materials. If your baggage has been selected for further inspection, don't panic. It's essential to cooperate fully with customs officers during this process. They'll examine your belongings, possibly ask you further questions about your items, and if everything checks out, you'll be on your way. However, if your items do not comply with regulations or you failed to declare certain goods, you may face penalties. These could include fines, confiscation of goods, and in severe cases, even arrest. For certain goods, you may be required to pay duties. Duties are essentially taxes that you pay for the privilege of bringing certain items into the country. The amount of duty you'll have to pay depends on various factors, including the type of goods, their value, and their country of origin. Customs officers are there to guide you through this process. They'll calculate the duties owed, if any, and provide you with a receipt once payment is made. It's crucial to keep this receipt as proof of payment. It's worth noting that not all goods are dutiable. Many personal and household items can be imported duty-free within specific value limits. The clearance process may seem daunting at first, but remember, it's a crucial part of ensuring the safety and security of everyone in the country. Clearance is the final hurdle. Once you've cleared customs, you're free to enter the country. So cooperate fully, be truthful in your declarations, and you'll navigate this process with ease. Understanding and complying with customs regulations is not just a formality, it's a necessity. As travelers, it's crucial to be aware of what can and cannot cross borders. Let's delve into why compliance isn't just about following rules. It's about safeguarding communities and maintaining international security. Violating customs regulations can lead to severe penalties. These can range from hefty fines to the confiscation of goods and, in more serious cases, arrest. For instance, bringing in prohibited items like certain narcotics, weapons, or endangered species without explicit permission can have dire legal consequences. Even restricted items such as certain food products, plants, and animals require specific clearances, and failing to obtain these can result in fines or even legal action. Understanding these regulations helps prevent the illegal movement of potentially dangerous goods and supports global efforts in controlling outbreaks of diseases and protecting local ecosystems. It's not merely about avoiding penalties, but contributing to a larger cause, global safety and security. Remember, understanding and respecting customs regulations keeps you and the country you're visiting safe. So next time you travel, you'll know exactly what to expect at customs control.
Let's learn new words and practice English at level C1. Customs. Customs, the official department that administers and collects the duties levied by a government on imported goods. Example, customs control at U.S. airports ensures that all goods entering the country comply with local laws and regulations. Declaration form. Declaration form, a document that travelers must complete detailing what they are bringing into a country, including items that must be declared according to the law. Example, all travelers arriving in the United States must fill out a declaration form to declare items like food, plants, and large amounts of currency. Duty-free. Duty-free products that can be purchased when crossing national borders, which are exempt from certain local or national taxes and duties. Example, travelers often purchase duty-free goods to save money on items like alcohol and tobacco. Prohibited items. Prohibited items, goods that are not allowed to be imported into a country under any circumstances. Example, it's important to check the list of prohibited items before traveling, as bringing these items into the U.S. can lead to severe penalties. Quarantine. Quarantine restrictions placed on the entry of certain goods to prevent the spread of disease or pests that could damage agriculture or the environment. Example, certain foods and plant materials must go through quarantine to ensure they are not carrying any harmful pests or diseases. Tariff. Tariff, a tax or duty to be paid on a particular class of imports or exports. Example, understanding the tariff rules is essential for anyone importing large quantities of goods into the United States. Exemptions. Exemptions, specific conditions under which certain rules or obligations are waived. Example, there are exemptions in customs duties for goods that fall under a certain value threshold, making them duty-free.